Good evening, guys. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Today is November 9th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guess what? Trump is the president. What a battle that was. Anyways, not paying that much attention to fundamental news, at least from a Forex perspective. Personally, I watched the debate. I watched the debates, looked at Google when the vote ballots were being counted, looked at the speeches and whatnot. But that's more for a personal interest than to get trade ideas. So that is why yesterday evening I closed all of my trade except for one. I believe it was British pound JPY. It wasn't a US dollar pair. I can't remember what it was. But woke up today to find out that it's hit my stop. Should have liquidated everything, but I thought the market wouldn't react because there was no US holdings, but I was wrong. And for the most part today I didn't trade except for one trade that I did on an hourly time frame. I knew I was gonna be in and out within an hour or two. It was a really good technical setup, that's why I got in, but for the most part didn't trade today. I will go into the day trade that I did later on. It was on Kiwi USD, but I want to keep your attention in Kiwi USD, but on a swing trade that I've just found that I'm still watching. I'm not in the trade yet. So the chart that you guys are looking at right now is the Kiwi USD daily chart, and as you can see, it's been moving up on between this channel, between these two trend lines, and healthy movement up. So I've been watching this for an opportunity to short or pull back to this lower trend line to go long. However, price has approached this key level now. As you can see, if I go to a line chart, you see that this area here has been tapped many times, 1 2 3, and if you move further down, you see it's been acting as support as well. So good enough area for us to take a high probability setup. And what had happened today was price has formed a bullish engulfing pattern right here, right? So price opened all the way up here, went down all the way to this point. There are several things why I'm looking at why I find this engulfing pattern a high probability blah high probability setup. One is the fact that it is at a key level. Price has struggled within this zone prior to this candle forming. Around here it has a few touches. Around here definitely was pushed back around here, and as I showed you before, it has acted as good support prior to this as well. So that's number one, right? Number two is the fact that when this engulfing came, right, if the engulfing candle finished here, that would have been an engulfing as well, right? So if this black candle finished here, that would have been an engulfing candle as well. However, the bears had enough pressure to push it beyond the low of this, push it beyond the low of, oh my god, my mouse sucks, push it beyond the low of this candle, and more importantly, it pushed it beyond this zone. So if you look at it on a line chart here, it's past all these highs, and it's past, what is this? It's past all these lows over here as well. I need to get a new mouse. It's past all these lows over here as well. So that's the other thing. That's the icing on the cake, or the cherry, however we say it. But that's the trigger. That's what tells me that this bearish engulfing candle has strength to it. Now there's two ways you can enter this. The more standard way, the way that I used to do, is plain and simple. When it takes off this low, you put a stop above and you go. My profit targets probably this area as the first, because you see that 50s, not the strongest. After one of these, I'm pretty sure it's gonna break. If not, if it struggles here, and if it I wouldn't take it out if it doesn't close. But let's say it doesn't close over here, but that they it managed to put a low below the 50. So a candle like this, right? Then I would close my trade tomorrow. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. So if the candle goes all the way there, that's good. That's a bearish candle. It broke. I'm fine. Or else, if it starts here, it's starting here, and it finishes over here like this. Let me take this out. Like that, I'm still good. It's bearish. But what if it goes like this? If the candle ends up like this. Oh shit, I can't get it to the middle, right? So anyways, if there's a wick going out, so what that means is price was able to push down, but the bears pushed it back up. If it closes like this, I'm definitely closing my position because there's strength here. There's bears showing strength. I don't know what's gonna happen Friday. Friday's the end of the week. I hate trading on Fridays because when you lose on Fridays, it's just mentally draining. Because number one, you've had a good week so far, and you just lost on Friday. I was like, oh man, I could have just closed it for that little profit I had and called it a week. Number two, this is all psychological stuff, right? Number two, now it's Friday. You gotta wait 2 days to enter the market. So I like to close my stuff early Friday unless I'm gonna. It's a longer term trade. That end of the week is not a big deal because I'm planning on holding. It's on a weekly setup or it's on a monthly setup. I'm here for the long run. Outside of that, these kind of trades, this trade I'll probably be in this for 3 days, 4 days at the max, and I will close it. So if it closes like that with a long lower wick, I'm out. If not, if it's a good bodied red candle, I'm definitely holding it over Friday, depending on how Friday closes and whatnot. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'm definitely gonna update my signal group, but I'll try to put a video up as well. So that's it. So that's the where was that? Yes, entries. How I'm gonna enter this, right? So your more standard way is this over here, and wherever your close will be. Mine's probably gonna be in this zone somewhere here if I enter like this. However, I've done some back testing, and another way to enter this is on a pullback. So if this manages to come at least 50% up, let's see this area, I'm definitely going short on. I'm going to enter over here for a short. I'm still going to calculate my risk for this, the whole thing, but I might enter a partial position here and let the rest of it to be entered here. So that way I can capture these pips as well. It's a big candle, so when you put risk to reward, you really have to make a move. So if I get a partial fill here and the rest of it over here, I should be good. Let's see how it works. But I want to bring this to your attention because I think it's pretty good setup. It's a really strong bearish candle. So yeah, that's the setup that I want to share with you guys. Now let's talk about that day trade that I got. So it was on the hourly chart. It was a quick one though. So when I saw this, it was like this. When I entered, it was this candle. What time was it? Yeah, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and this is what I saw. Right? So what does this say? It shows that this says come down. So where is the impulse move here? The move is to the downside. Came down, it broke this structure over here, this structure level, it broke it and bounced back up. But when it bounced back up, it didn't have the strength. Because if this is a valid structure, right? If this is a structure that's gonna push through and it's gonna bounce and go up, why is it struggling here? So it came back up, went up, came back down, came back up here again, and bears pushed it all the way down. So like I told you, I was watching this candle. So let me just go now. So when this candle opened, what I did was when it pushed back 50%, I got my partial fill. And the rest, I got it when it broke the low. I wrote it all the way down to, I think it was 72,700, somewhere here. I think I closed it with this. I closed it over here, but because of the fact that I got filled halfway through, I got a pretty good amount of profit. But then after that, this happened. But I would have been out. Worst comes to worst, I sold it because of the low of the day. He didn't want to hold it, and also it's the election day. There's all this fundamental nonsense going. I didn't want to hold any trades, so it was a quick in and out trade for me. I hold it at the low. I sold it at the low. Bought it. I short it, so I bought it back at the low. But then, worst comes to worst, if I didn't, I would have gotten out when it took out this doji looking candle here. Not the doji, the hammer looking candle here. I'd have gotten out here for sure. Not for as much profit, but I would have definitely covered my position here. So that's what it is for now. I don't have many other trade setups. I'm also, let me see what I'm keeping an eye. So this is one definitely that I'm probably going to keep an eye out on. I don't think I have any other trades to talk about today. This election's gonna mess things. So I'm looking at it here. See, it's the again, it's the end of the week. I've had a pretty good week so far. I'm up maybe 3% this week. That's just a week, right? So I don't wanna trade this whole election bluff and get caught up in this wishy-washy trading. I rather let it settle. People will read the news, look at the charts over the weekend, and say, "Hey, Donald Trump is not bad after all," or "Hey, Donald Trump is bad," or whatever. Make up their mind and go in with a definitive thesis. Is that right? Yeah, a thesis. So they know, you know what? I'm going long. I'm going short. It's not like today over here. What's happened over here? This goddamn mouse is so slow. Yeah, over here it's like, yeah, let's go short. Oh no, that's not gonna work out. Let's go long. Like, it's wishy-washy. So I'm gonna stay out of the market for the most part tomorrow, except for this New Zealand Kiwi USD trade. If that works out, I'm definitely in it. If not, I'm probably gonna stay out. If I see an hourly setup, I might get in, might not. Not sure yet. But for the most part, this is what I'm looking at for tomorrow. Anyways, hope you guys have a good week ahead. 2 more days. It's the end of the week. Like I told you, don't give what you've gained, because as you know, as I know, you've worked hard to get to this level. You worked hard to get the consistency. Or if you still haven't had the consistency, it's a mental thing, it's a psychological thing. So don't get caught up with the FOMO, the need to trade and stuff like that. I'm gonna be talking more about psychological stuff because for my personal trading growth, I've gone through a couple of trades. I had paid. I'm gonna be honest. I've paid to bulls on Wall Street. That was on the equity side. I've done Infinite Prosperity's first program as well. Two really, really, really good programs. If you're going to go on the stocks, because I used to trade equities before, Bulls on Wall Street, Kunal Desai does it. Amazing guy. You give him a phone call anytime he lands. I help you out. That's the way to go. If you want to go, what do you call, Forex, Infinite Prosperity, really good. Well, I don't really personally know them, but the content is bang on, really good. But even after going through these two programs, I wasn't consistent because what I've realized is that it is not a magic formula. From what I learned from what I learned during my equities days and from what I learned from Infinite Prosperity, not much of a difference, guys. The same goddamn thing. But what it is, it's in your goddamn mind. It's how you think. It's how you react when you see trades. It's, do you have a long-term picture in your head when you're trying when you're down $30 or $100 a trade? Are you thinking, "Oh, let me save this, let me get this back to zero, I don't want to give 100"? Or are you thinking, "You know what, I'm gonna cut my loss, 100 is nothing, I'm in here for 10 years, I'll make that 100 back"? It's stuff like that that makes or breaks a trader. So I've able to overcome that lately, and I've had several consistent months right now, and I truly believe it's because of my mental adjustment. Definitely, if you're going on the first realm, Infinite Prosperity talks a lot about this, the psychological game. So definitely take a look at that. But it's in your head, guys. It's in your head. You really don't need a coach. It's not something you can read about it. You can read about Trading in the Zone. Really good book to read if you haven't read it. But it's the fact that you need to know before that adrenaline hits you and you're holding your mouse and you're waiting for that hammer to form. I was like, oh, it's going up, I'm gonna get in. That's when you need to know, oh shit, let me look at my trade plan. Is there a valid setup there? Just the other day, it was an amazing. Look at how it wasn't amazing, but I thought it was an amazing setup. I'm like, hold on. I feel too panicked. I feel too eager to get into this trade. Let me pull out my trading plan and go check by check, tick by tick to see if all of my criteria is there. Guess what? Three of my criteria weren't there. So I was like, oh, screw this. I'm not getting into this trade. But maybe 6 7 months before, I would have been like, oh shit, this looks good. I'm gonna get in. So that's what makes a good trader. That's what divides a good trader from a bad trader. You need to be able to go through your process each and every time. Each and every time. Let's say you have 6 criteria. You gotta make sure you go 1 is checked, 2 is checked, 3 is checked, 4 is not checked. I'm not getting in. Each and every time. And sometimes you will leave money on the table. That is fine. That is fine, because if you're in your mid 30s or if you're in your 20s or 30, you have 20 30 years ahead of you. That $100, that $500 that you left on the table, trust me, you will get it back. So anyways, it wasn't about trader psychology here. I'm going on a rant, but hope you guys have a good weekend. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe and leave some comments, good or bad, and I'll get back to you guys. Ciao.